A sea of pink lines Rec Hall for their annual Dig Pink match with a little extra meaning this week. So number 3 in University Park, Pennsylvania. I'm Justin Chevalella, joined alongside Jack Raczynski. And before we get to Jack, how about we throw things over to the third member of our crew in Gigi Jones with more on today's matchup.
What's up, guys? Thanks for sending it down to me. Like we said, we've got the number 3 Penn State Nittany Lions versus the number 14 Minnesota Golden Gophers. Both are riding the high of away wins. We saw the Nittany Lions defeat Ohio State in Ohio just Friday with some great performances from Jess Music and freshman standout Izzy Stark. On the other side of things, Minnesota won in New Jersey against Rutgers in a quick 3 sets. They had a great defensive game, and that's going to be a big focus of today. But Penn State is still the one to beat with their 13-game regular win streak that they're riding high. So it's going to be a lot of fun watching today's matchup. Back to you.
The Nittany Lions improved to 17-1 with their victory on Friday. Minnesota improved to 12-5.
Yeah, I think that's just going to be the big thing, is that you have two teams coming off of Friday wins, but in very different fashions. As Gigi said, it was a quick sweep of Rutgers, one of the lower-ranked teams in the conference, by Minnesota, but then Penn State really had to scratch and claw for that win over Ohio State by the slimmest of margins, a 16-14 win in set 5. They had to come back in that final set as well to win, and that's coming off 2 great performances by Ohio State by Emily Londot and Emmy Selman, who had her career high 27 kills, almost doubling her career high in that game. Before that, it was 14 and having 27 on that night. So a great job by Penn State with their backs against the wall to respond when the Buckeyes have a great night of their own.
Jess Merzick led the way for the Nittany Lions on the offensive end with 29 kills. It's back-to-back matches with 20-plus kills for the former Michigan transfer. Came over prior to 2023 and has been nothing short of exceptional. She's set to be announced as a starter momentarily here inside a ranked call. You see Penn State wearing pink jerseys in honor of their Dig Pink match. And this past week, the Penn State athletic community, as well as this volleyball team, got the sad news that Katie Schumacher-Cauley, the head coach of this Nittany Lion team, was diagnosed with breast cancer. In an Instagram post, Schumacher-Cauley said she thanks the athletic community for all their support, and it's going to be business as usual inside of Rec Hall, but our thoughts, our well wishes are with her, with everyone surrounding her, and with this program. Further into this match now, this Penn State team already talked about Jess Merzick, but Izzy Stark, it's time and time again, it feels like it's on repeat. Big Ten setter of the week, coming off of 50 assists against Ohio State.
And also has won Big Ten freshman of the week 4 times. She just developed so well into that role as a setter, replacing an all Big Ten in her own right in Mac Pedraza last year, who graduated from Penn State, the former Ohio State Buckeye herself. But Stark has done a fantastic job gelling with the team, gelling with her sister Angelina, who also plays for the Nittany Lions, and her, alongside fellow freshman Ava Faldudo, have done great things to really bolster this Penn State roster.
Nittany Lions starting lineup looks a bit different today, with Alexa Markley checking in. The junior outside hitter from Peachtree City, Georgia, has played in 14 sets this season with 15 kills, but typically Caroline Juravius gets that start in there, but Alexa Markley does it today.
Yeah, Juravic has very up and down games, and I think just Schumacher-Cauley wanted to get a bit more consistency with Alexa Markley. She was a 2022 Big Ten All-Freshman, so just see if we can if they can change it up a bit. And Markley definitely provides some consistency, especially since he's been with the program for 3 years at this point. Interesting move by Katie Schumacher-Cauley. We'll see if it pays off.
You see the starters for the Nittany Lions: Trammell, Merzick, Stark, Mendelson, Grimes, Stark, and Markley. On the other side for Keegan Cook and Minnesota: McKenna Wooker, Melanie Schaffmaster, Phoebe Awolea, Kalissa Minity, Julia Hansen, Kate Thibault, and Zeynep Polabiek all get the starts for that Minnesota Golden Gophers team. Number 14 in the nation, started at number 18, their lowest ranking in the preseason poll since 2006 when they were ranked number 22. But a couple of ranked wins over some good teams sit them at 12-5, 5-2 in conference play, and are hoping to come into Rec Hall and upset the Nittany Lions, who lead this series in a big way, 51-15, but over the last 10, it's been an even split, 5-5, although Penn State has won the last 2 matches in 2022 and 2023. Here inside of Rec Hall, Nittany Lions hold a 27-5 advantage in the series, but the Golden Gophers have played spoiler the last couple of times here, or 2 of the last 3 have gone the way of Minnesota. Jillian Grimes gets set to get us started inside of Rec Hall for the annual Dig Pink match. The ball is up and we are underway. As Shaftmaster, quick set for Wooker. It's sent right back by the Nittany Lions. Stark now sets for Merzick right in front of us here at Big Ten Plus. Attempt from the middle from Hansen. And the first point goes the way of Minnesota. Julia Hansen, already her first career 200-plus kills season, and that's kill number 210, has Minnesota on the board first.
Yeah, top 15 player in the conference in kills per set, and doing a good job of being able to respond to good kills attempts by Jess Merzick.
Elise McGee gets the first serve for Minnesota. It's received by Merzick. Now Stark back sets it for Markley. A great dig that time for Minnesota. Rejection at the net for the Nittany Lions. Wooker goes into the first row of the stands. Shaftmaster free balls it over. Now Stark, Mendelson rejected up front. Phoebe Awolea.
And you're going to hear that name a lot on the defensive front. Phoebe Awolea had 14 blocks against Maryland. That's the most ever by a collegiate volleyball player in a 3-set match. She is lethal for this Gopher front line.
Awolea, multiple blocks in 8 straight matches, 7+ blocks in 5 of the last 6 for Minnesota, including against Rutgers on Friday, but nobody's blocking Jess Merzick here, and the Nittany Lions get their first point in this Sunday matinee match.
Yeah, she tied her season high of 29 against the Buckeyes on Friday, and Coach Keegan Cook talked about it in our Zoom meeting on Friday that the first 10 points of the set are going to be how this game plays out, and the one that they're going to have to stop the Nittany Lions from getting any additional runs.
Faldudo's serve, now Shaftmaster leaves it for Wooker. Soft attempt over. Stark sets for Mendelson. It's received and dug out by Minnesota. Stark again, Mendelson. This time an effort from Minnesota, but Maggie Mendelson gets her first kill, and set 1 is even at 2.
A great job by Mendelson. They recognize that the front line hasn't been their strong suit, especially when you're playing Minnesota. So utilize the back line, utilize the corners. Mendelson gets the kill.
Faldudo's serve goes to Wooker, and then a nice effort by Feeball as she trips over Wooker to keep it up. And now Stark goes for the kill, but what an effort that time from Polabiak. Rejected at the net was Merzick. Mendelson sends it over. She gets the kill. What a defensive effort from Minnesota. 2 different tough plays, and they managed to keep the ball up. Eventually, the point goes to the Nittany Lions anyway.
Yeah, that's how you make something out of nothing there. Everything seemed to be going wrong for the Gophers, but they respond. But Penn State able to quash that momentum with the kill.
Thibault to the ground to get the serve. Now Hansen rejected by Mendelson. Kept up by Thibault. Another rejection at the net, this time from the Nittany Lions. Awoleu sends it over. Stark for Merzick. And the Nittany Lions are roaring 4-0 scoring run after falling behind 2-0.
Yeah, there's not many times you're going to stop Jess Merzick just winding up, jumping like that, and firing it cross court. You're really fighting a losing battle if you're the Gophers there.
Ava Faldudo, the freshman, continues to serve for the Nittany Lions. She attacks Wooker, who receives it. Shaftmaster to Wooker, and Wooker ends the run for the Nittany Lions. Minnesota gets their 3rd point on Wooker's first kill.
Yeah, she had 15 kills against Penn State last year when they played in Minneapolis, so she definitely knows how to perform against this Nittany Lions squad.
Coming off of 6 kills against Rutgers on Friday night is McKenna Wooker. Melanie Shaftmaster to serve. This one off the top of the net. Faldudo gets it on the ground, and then Merzick rejected up front. Double block. Phoebe Awolea and Lydia Grote both there for Minnesota.
And Penn State was a little bit out of position. Merzick had to face Grote and Awolea on her own, and you're not going to win that one 9 times out of 10.
This is a Minnesota team that's got 10 or more blocks in 10 of their 17 matches this season. Can't get one here. Merzick around the block. Cross-court kill for Jess Merzick. And the Nittany Lions retake the lead at 5-4.
Yeah, and gets the touch as well going cross-court, really aiming for that hand to get that touch. Worked well for Merzick.
Merzick now back to the service line. Again, coming off of incredible night on Friday. Alea. Grimes dug it out, and then Wooker sends it down to the floor on the Nittany Lions side. McKenna Wooker with her second kill. Wooker comes in averaging 2.5 kills per set, 91 total for the 2022 and 2023 AVCA All-North Region Honorable Mention. Former Big Ten All-Freshman team honoree as well. Stark leaves it behind for Mendelson, rejected up front. Acevedo there.
She just checked into the game, the former Oregon Duck. Season high of 12 kills in that ranked win against Wisconsin earlier in the season.
Already 3 blocks for this Minnesota Golden Gophers squad. As Stark gets it to Hannah, stays in. Cameron Hannah approaching 1,500 career kills, gets her first on this Sunday, and the set one is at 6-6.
Beautiful cross court, finding the coffin corner. That's another player that Keegan Cook told us to watch out for. He said that Cameron Hannah is one of the most improved players in the conference from last year to this year.
Quinn Menger to serve for the Nittany Lions. Wooker goes to the floor to get it. Now Hansen on the attack. Menger digs it out. Hannah on the attack, rejected again. Awalea there again on a double block. The 4th block for Minnesota here in set one.
Yeah, she's second in the entire country, or in the entire conference in blocks. Showing you right there, it has been a stonewall up front for Minnesota so far.
Minnesota has 4 blocks. Awalea has been a part of all of them. As Trammell in the center of the court gets her first kill.
Yeah, Penn State's going to be looking for ways to avoid that front line. Trammell able to do it there.
Think back to that one match that the Nittany Lions have lost. Pitt was all over the Nittany Lions attack. And early on, so is Minnesota. Already a change in the attack coming from the center with Trammell there. Now from the side, Hannah pushes the ball over. Kept up by Hansen. Schaffmaster leaves it for Grote. Merzick to the floor for the dig, and Trammell finishes it with the kill. Defense to offense for Penn State, and they lead set one 8-7.
And Trammell's having a phenomenal year, 5th in the country in hitting percentage. She has hit over 300 in 14 of her last 15 games. Really impressive stuff from the Lexington, Kentucky native.
Stark serves to Wooker. Schaffmaster leaves it behind for Grote, who's rejected up front. Cameron Hannah and Taylor Trammell both there.
Penn State's going to really have to start to work on their double blocks. That's where I think they're going to try to beat the response by Awalea and Grote, especially on that front line.
Lizzie Stark again for the serve. Schaffmaster leaves it for Hansen, and Julia Hansen gets the kill. Her second, 4 total for Minnesota. Trails by 1 here in set one. That ends a 3-0 scoring run for Penn State.
Minnesota not letting Penn State escape, and they really emphasize playing Penn State tough early. That they mentioned that Penn State really is a team that thrives on the early points.
Stark leaves it for Hannah, and she gets the kill. Too tough for Polabiak to handle. Cameron Hannah with her second kill. And the Nittany Lions, the first to 10 in set one.
And great communication by Jillian Grimes, the libero, to tell everyone to back off, just let it roll and land out of bounds.
Hannah's serve just gets over. Wooker to the floor on the receive. Hansen's attack stays in, or tipped at the net rather. And Julia Hansen with kill number 3 here early in set one.
And Merzick just let it go, didn't really see the touch as Hansen hit it. That's just going to happen sometimes when you're dancing on the thinnest of margins.
Hansen, serve out. First service error we've seen. It gives Penn State their 11th point.
Now you have Grimes back to serve, who has 21 service aces on the season. That leads the team.
21 service aces to 24 service errors for the junior from Illinois. Grimes serve. Finds Thibault. Now it's Wooker getting rejected at the net. Never mind. Point goes to Minnesota.
So on the block, it landed out of play. And Penn State's going to challenge here.
So Katie Schumacher-Colley uses her first challenge. Nittany Lions were pretty animated that they had got that block successfully, and the point should be theirs. Right now, scoreboard shows 11-10 and a kill for McKenna Wooker. While they sort this one out at the scorers table, Jack, it's been back and forth early, and that's kind of what we expected between the number 3 and the number 14 team in the nation.
Yes, both of these teams really emphasize getting the early points, getting up early. So it was no argument that it was going to be close in these first few points. And Minnesota tried to keep with Penn State, and they've been doing a great job, especially up front with Lydia Grote and Phoebe Alalea really doing their job and showing why they're one of the best blocking units in the conference. We'll get the call here.
Point gets changed to Penn State's way. Took just about 30 seconds to review that one. So the Nittany Lions now go up by 3, 12-9. So Schumacher-Colley successful on her first challenge today. Grimes serves again. Thibault receives. Now on the attack, Minity. Grimes has to go run and save it. Merzick just sent it over. Now Wooker. She gets the kill, finds the center of the floor. In front of the back line, behind the front line, McKenna Wooker. Soft on that kill, her third.
The libero, Jillian Grimes, had to run all the way from basically her bench back to center, just about a split second too late. Point Minnesota.
Aggressive effort that time from Grimes. Point to Wooker, who's now over her set average in kills with 3. Schaffmaster, and a missed opportunity that time. Awolea just mistimed the jump. The error that time, Nittany Lions get the point 13-10.
Yeah, just a misplay. Schaffmaster hits it a little too hard for Awolea. Giving a point to Penn State, though. They keep that 3-point cushion for now.
Schaffmaster coming off a 23 assist at Rutgers on Friday. As now meeting at the net. Schaffmaster too strong. She makes up for it and gets the point to go the way of the Golden Gophers. Just a joust right at the net. Schaffmaster 1-on-2. Manages to get it down on the Penn State side. The 11th point for Minnesota as Schaffmaster goes back to serve. Faldudo receives. Now Stark. Long set for Merzick. Soft attack from Wooker. Now Mendelson, soft, kept up, and finds the floor. Good diving effort by Palabia, kept it up momentarily, but then the ball just bounced off a body, finds the floor. And it goes down as a kill for Maggie Mendelson.
And that's how you use a 6'5" frame to your advantage. A nice campfire landing kill, as I like to call it, for the Nebraska transfer.
Serve too hard that time for Merzick. First service error for the Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions coming into the day, 86 service aces compared to 149 errors. So now 150 from the service line for them. Hannah rejected. Lydia Grote, all by herself, rejects Cameron Hannah. The blocks of Minnesota continuing to play big here in set 1. That their 5th. Stark, Hannah, this one all the way up to the roof of Rec Hall. Al Hansen frees it over. Stark, Hannah the attack, Hannah the kill. And that's point 15 for the Nittany Lions. 15-13, the Nittany Lions lead as they have been able to find ways around that tough front line of Minnesota.
Yeah, especially when you come after a Lydia Grote block. Just the ability from Penn State to respond every time Minnesota gets some light. That's what's keeping them ahead, and that's what they've done so often throughout the season.
Nittany Lions lead it 15-13 at the media timeout. We'll send it over to Gigi Jones.
Thanks, guys. Now, anyone that doesn't One of the themes of today's game is the alumni game, celebrating the teams of 1999, 2009, and 2014, but it's also the Dig Pink game, as you can see around me. Now, this game hits a little different with the news coming out this week with the unfortunate diagnosis of Coach Katie Shoemaker-Cawley and her unfortunate diagnosis with breast cancer. She took to social media sharing the news, but also saying that she's handling the situation with strength, determination, and an unwavering sense of hope. Now, anyone that knows Coach Katie knows that she is all about this team, so she also said it's business as usual in Rec Hall. She shared that she wants the focus of the next few weeks and months to be on the team, their season, and everything they do as inspiring women on the courts and in the classroom. She finished it with a good old-fashioned "we are," and we can see the love and support on social media and hear from her today. We at Big Ten are sending her the same. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Gigi. All of our best wishes go out to Katie Schumacher-Cawley here in her third season with the Nittany Lions. Right now, her team up in set one, 15-13 over the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And it's been a joint effort from all over. 3 kills from Cameron Hanna, Jess Merzick, and Maggie Mendelson, 2 from Taylor Trammell. Not really relying on just one person. We saw Jess Merzick with 29 kills leading the offense on Friday.
Yeah, this is a team that's not afraid to spread the love between the kills and the blocks, and you can do that when you have a team that emphasizes their depth as much as Penn State does.
Manger serve sent Minnesota to the floor in Palabiak. Minnesota gets it over. Hanna on the attack, rejected. 6th block of the match for the Golden Gophers. Phoebe Awolea there again.
Justin, we're only in set 1, right?
Yes.
Yes, I think my math is correct. Phoebe Awolea, showing why she's one of the best middle blockers in the Big Ten.
That's the 5th block that she has been a part of. Her and Lydia Grote leading the way. Grote in on 4 of the blocks. As Trammell in on her 3rd kill. Now 4 Nittany Lions up to 3 kills in the match.
And we see Alexa Markley check in, as well as Izzy Stark goes back to serve. Or Markley, our starter, we usually see Caroline Jaravicius in that position.
Have not seen Jaravicius yet today. As on the attack, Grote gets the kill. She can block, she can kill. Lydia Grote. Her first kill of this set, this match, averaging just under 3 kills per set at 2.95. Serves it this time. Grimes receives on the floor. Hanna on the attack, stays in. Cameron Hanna now at 1,499 kills. The next will be a milestone, 1,500 for the former Clemson transfer.
Just the right needle, Cameron Hanna. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, but that time just a perfect placement, as you said, by the former Clemson Tiger.
Coming off an 8-kill performance the other night against Ohio State. Now Hansen rejected. Markley and Trammell both there for the Nittany Lions. Stays up. Hansen again off the same hands, but this time for the kill.
Hansen's been making her home on that side closest to the Rec Hall stands opposite of us. Penn State really has not had an answer for her in that spot so far with her 4th kill. That leads the Golden Gophers team.
Tied for the match lead with Hanna. As Hansen serves, Grimes receives on the floor. Stark, Merzick. It's kept up by Minnesota. Wooker on the attack, too hard. Point Penn State, 18-16. They lead set 1.
Yeah, good awareness by Penn State to just kind of duck and get out of the way. We've seen a lot of the points that have gone out have been off of touches, giving the point to the other team regardless of who it is. So good job at Penn State just to get down and let it go away.
Wooker, soft over. Merzick there to dig it out. Stark now. Back sets for Markley. She's rejected by Wooker. It's kept up. Now Wooker on the attack, pushes it over to Angelina Stark. Now Izzy Stark leaves it for Mendelson, pushed over, kept up. Palabiak. Wooker rejected by Mendelson and Markley.
You can definitely see the absence of Phoebe Awolea on the court has gone in favor of the Nittany Lions, now up 3, as we see Alex Acevedo come in for McKenna Wooker.
Booker goes to the bench with Awolea, and a timeout is called by Minnesota's head coach in Keegan Cook here in his second year with the Golden Gophers. Penn State leading set one over the number 14 ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers. You see the Minnesota huddle right there, and in the center of it, Keegan Cook here in his second year with this Minnesota program.
Yeah, he's done a great job coming over from Washington with a 227 record, 29-18 in his 2 seasons in Minneapolis. And he talked about it on Friday. He said, my goal here, they brought me in here to win a national championship. And you're playing in a stacked Big Ten, and you're performing at the level that you are. 5-2 in conference, number 14 in the country, has done great things for the Gophers so far in his tenure.
Cook took this Minnesota squad to the round of 32 last year, where they eventually lost to Creighton. 17-13, the final record for Minnesota, 12-8 in conference play. Grimes serves it as we restart set number 1. Hansen from the middle, going to the ground and keeping it up. Angelina Stark, Markley also. Spectacular defense. Now the block from Merzick. Nittany Lions defense coming to play for point number 20.
A tremendous solo block for Merzick's first of the game. Great response after Markley and the Stark sisters had to bail themselves out close to the stand side.
Acevedo on the attack. Angelina Stark kept it up. Merzick free balls it over. Tough play that time for Thibault. Gets it to Schaffmaster. Acevedo kept up by Merzick. Another free ball going to the ground. Thibault, Schaffmaster, Acevedo. Too hard. Point Penn State. Nittany Lions the first to 20, the first to 21. They lead set 1 by 5, starting to pull away after that timeout.
This is where we've seen Penn State really start to pull away in these matches, especially against ranked opponents.
4-0 scoring run for the Nittany Lions. Looking to end it, Hansen. It's dug out by Angelina Stark. Now Merzick on the attack, off the hands at the net. And Jess Merzick has her 4th kill. 5-0 scoring run for the Nittany Lions. And right back to the huddle, Penn State will go. Keegan Cook uses his 2nd time out of the set to talk things over. Nittany Lions 5-0.
The Nittany Lions won their last time out 3-1 on the road at Minnesota.
First met in 1983. 41 years later, they meet again at Rec Hall. And the Nittany Lions lead set 1, looking for their 18th win of the season. 17-1, the Nittany Lions coming into the day. Grimes sets it for Merzick. Was there a touch? Yes, there was at the net. Jess Merzick, kill 5.
And Merzick does that so well, just firing it with as much power as she can. Normally, she gets the touch, and that gets Penn State to 23.
Tough receive on the serve that time. Schaffmaster free balls it over. Grimes to the floor to keep it up. Now Markley, Alexa Markley gets in on the action and puts set 1 to set point.
Notches her 16th kill of 2024. She had 2 kills, hit 143 against Ohio State on Friday night.
7-0 scoring run as Grimes sends Acevedo to a knee. That one up by Minity, pancaked on the ground by Grimes. Merzick finishes it off. Defense to offense again for the Nittany Lions. They win set 1, 25-16, and they finish set 1 on an 8-0 scoring run.
Yeah, they just took control, and when you have the talent like Jess Merzick to do that, you just saw the Nittany Lions become more players like Jess Merzick and Cameron Hanna that really step up in those clutch moments. And they were really fighting for those first 10, 15 points, and then after that, they really locked in and stepped up to their full ability, getting the job done, as you said, an 8-0 scoring run. You can see the stats on your screen. Penn State hitting 297 to just Minnesota's 075, 17 kills to the Gophers, 9 in the first set of play.
So 2 sides, flip sides here for set number 2. Minnesota looking for the rebound as Nittany Lions, they've had some matches like Friday where they go to 5 sets, but also against some ranked opponents, we have seen them just roll over some ranked opponents. You think back to the Ware White game against number 11 Oregon. You think back on the road to number 10 Purdue. Sometimes the Nittany Lions just flex their muscle more times than others, specifically in ranked matchups. And Minnesota hoping that's not the case today as Trammell on the attack. Kept up on a great run by Hansen. Sent back over, now Stark to Markley. Unsuccessful on the attack in the first point of set 2. Ends the 8-0 scoring run for the Nittany Lions and starts out set 2 the same way set 1 started, first point to Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota kind of sets a free ball over from the bench, and Grimes was the one to come up and set it. So Stark was in a weird spot where she had to set it back to Markley. Just kind of a wacky positioning. First point goes to the Gophers.
McGee on the serve, Merzik received. Now Merzik on the attack, who's rejected at the line, kept up on the Minnesota side. Merzik digs it out. Trammell rejected again by Awolea. Now Merzik manages to get it over the hand of the front line. Another attack that time coming from Hansen. Stark sets for Merzik off the hands at the net, and Jess Merzik has kill number 7 to tie up set 2 early.
And going back to your point earlier, Justin, Penn State is 5-1 against ranked teams. 3 of them have been sweeps. 2 at home against Louisville and Oregon, 1 on the road against Purdue. They really seem to step up in these ranked matches, but as you saw, Ohio State was 8-8 coming into the game on Friday, and they took them all the way to 5, had to go to extra points in that 5th set.
Hansen blocked by Mendelson and Markley. Sent back over by Minnesota. Now Merzik rejected by the Minnesota front line again. Schaffmaster and Awolea both there. It's the 7th kill for Minnesota, or 7th block rather, for Minnesota.
And that's what we saw hurt Penn State early in the first set, is that they were going 1v2, whether it was Merzik or it was Cameron Hanna, going against Phoebe Awolea, and whoever she was blocking against usually went the way of Minnesota.
Tough set that time from Izzy Stark. Markley managed to get it over. And the point this time to the Nittany Lions. The ball ends up in Jack's hands.
All right, so that is 5 for 5 on games I have called courtside or I have touched the volleyball at some point. I don't know who I get the assist for, though.
2-2 set 2. As number 2 serves it for Penn State, that's Faldudo. Schaffmaster. Now Grote. Tough receive that time from Faldudo, sent over by Mendelson. Now Schaffmaster for Grote again, blocked up. Stark keeps it up to her sister, who free balls it over. Schaffmaster, Awolea, dug out by Grimes. Stark, Merzik, soft on it, and Merzik records the kill.
And those are the rallies that you just love as a fan of volleyball, going back and forth, bouncing off every which body part. Penn State gets the job done. But great job by Ava Faldudo, a freshman, but you would never know it.
Stepped right into a major role with this Nittany Lions team in her first year. There she is again. Stark, Mendelson rejected. Faldudo keeps it up. Now Stark again for Merzik, rejected. Kept on the Minnesota side. Balabiak to Hansen. Hansen met by Mendelson and Merzik. And Grote finishes off that point. Lydia Grote with her 2nd kill of the match.
Going back to Rutgers on Friday night, Grote had 11 kills, no errors, hit 733, and you're never going to stop a team if someone's going to hit 733 like that with that many kill attempts.
Especially when this Minnesota defense keeps teams from hitting over 200 time and time again. Stark to Merzik. That one out. So point to Minnesota on the attack error from Jess Merzik. Looking for kill number 9 at this point early in set 2.
Yeah,
she is doing it again.
Yeah, Minnesota playing a little bit further back, so you're not really going to get the touch that Merzik loves to look for when she fires it cross court like that.
Faldudo to the ground to receive the serve. Stark from the setter spot, just put it back over. Minnesota reacted quickly. Now Merzik, 2-hand push over kill. Jess Merzik with kill number 9, one away from double digits.
And Merzik gets the kill, but shout out to Izzy Starks. She does so time and time again that great kind of fake out. Looks like she's going to set it and then pops it over. Didn't work that time, but that's kind of been her signature move throughout the season. Usually pays off too.
9 consecutive matches coming in the day for Merzik with 10+ kills, 2 straight with 20+. She's on pace for that again. Soft pancake that time from Shaftmaster. Rejection by Mendelson. Anything but soft on that one.
And she leads the team with 1.14 blocks per set. Absolutely fired up to just stonewall Minnesota for that kill to put them back on top.
Maggie Mendelson has been a part of a couple of those for the Nittany Lions. Now 4 blocks for the Nittany Lions. Mendelson and Hannah both credited that time on the block assist. As Merzik stays at the line to serve. Soft serve off the top of the net. To the floor was Acevedo. And to the floor was Merzik, to no avail. The kill to Lydia Grote.
Grote only with her 3rd kill of the afternoon. She's currently on a 7-game streak of 10 or more kills.
3 kills just above her average per set, so a little behind it for the day, but plenty of time to go as Cameron Hanna. Kill number 1,500, milestone moment for Cameron Hanna.
And the Wrecking Crew puts up the sign, letting the fans know it at Rec Hall. Cam Hanna, 1,500 kills, and to do it in Cameron Hanna style, just winding up, going against the block, and nothing Minnesota can do.
Well, Jack, I was here for her 1,000th kill last year. The ball ended up hitting me on it. This time, 1,500 ends up in the bleachers on the other side. Congratulations to Hannah as this point goes to Minnesota.
And sometimes that's just going to happen when you're going against the block. Minnesota going in motion to try to get the kill, and sometimes the block's just going to land out of play. Point for the Gophers.
So set number 2 starting out the same way set 1 did. Back and forth, it's 6-6 through the first 12 points. As Stark sets it for Merzik. 10+ kills again for Jess Merzik.
Yeah, that's one of those times when you wish the radar caught Lydia Grote napping that time. She kind of jumped off 1 foot to try to keep it up in the air to no avail. And you see the stat, 1,500 kills for Cameron Hanna, the outside hitter.
Former Clemson Tiger. Spent the last couple of seasons with the Nittany Lions. As Stark, awkward play that time. Grimes manages to get it over for the Nittany Lions. Now on the attack, Hansen finishes it for Minnesota.
Hansen's been so lethal cross court, and they love to win those one-on-one matchups. That's where Penn State really has to step up, is have more reinforcements in Minnesota. That's your goal, so try to find those weak spots, or even if there's just one Nittany line, you have the advantage on the attack attempt.
Julia Hansen, one of 52 players named to the AVCA Player of the Year watch list earlier this season, and for good reason. 3.37 kills per set, a total of 209. Does it defensively as well. Now Markley on the attack. Markley's 2nd kill, touch at the net. And Alexa Markley puts Penn State up 9-8.
You can just see the experience, not being flustered, being put into this starting role. Markley really stepping up in this game to get her 3rd kill of the match, hitting 286 so far. Also has a block to her name.
Grimes the serve. Shaftmaster the set. Sent over softly by Grote. Now Merzik. Stay in? No, it did not. Attack error for Jess Merzik. So this set tied up 9-9. That one coming right our way, right into me, and that's a service ace for Minnesota.
And a great catch by Justin Chevalella.
Where am I putting? I don't know where to put it. There we go. Jack, I was looking for your direction. Nobody helped me out that time.
I'm sorry. Normally, Coach Katie comes up and says, hey, I got it.
I was trying to get their attention, but couldn't find it. I was going to take a souvenir, not actually.
You can fit it in your bag.
Mendelson gets the kill that time. New ball, doesn't matter. Maggie Mendelson continues to roll.
And we see Markley come out, Ava Faldudo come back into the game. And that was someone that Coach Keegan Cook talked about. Of course, Jillian Grimes is the starting libero and gets a lot of the attention, but he said that Ava Faldudo is an incredibly underrated player in this conference, the number 4 recruit in the country.
Faldudo gets the service ace right on cue. The announcer's jinx from Jack, but I mean, she has been impressive all around this year. Freshman from Elmhurst, Illinois. Talked about it. Number 4 recruit in the country, the top libero in Illinois. 4-time All-Conference, 2-time All-State, and she has just stepped into a role. Her and Izzy Stark, 2 freshmen for Penn State, highlighted their recruiting class, and they have just made an instant impact. As now Grote makes an impact there for Minnesota, and Minnesota up 12-10.
Again, how many times have we seen the cross-court one-on-one matchup go in favor of Minnesota? Keegan Cook probably telling his players, hey, that's where you got to go to get the kills.
Faldudo receives the serve. Merzick for the kill. She gets it. 11 kills now for Jess Merzick. And the Nittany Lions get their 11th point off her 11th kill.
And that was the theme in set 1, where every time Minnesota responded, Penn State responded. They're not letting the Gophers get on these runs. Minnesota can't really say the same, as Penn State ended set 1 in an 8-0 scoring run to win it.
Not really a scoring run for either side here in set 2. It keeps going back and forth, and it continues as Acevedo gets her 2nd kill, crossing the court on that one. And Minnesota leads 13-11 here in set 2.
That's kill number 61 on the season for the Idaho native, the redshirt freshman.
Alex Acevedo, redshirted at Oregon and transferred over to Minnesota. Polabiak on the serve. Merzick the reception. Mendelson sends it over. Schaffmaster for Acevedo off the hands at the net. Now Stark for Hannah. 1,501 for Cameron Hannah. Her 6th kill of the match.
The 2nd on this team behind Merzick's 11. And again, Cameron Hannah is a player that you just see every single time the Nittany Lions need a point. She steps up time and time again. She does it right there, this time with a milestone attached to it at 1,501 now.
Cameron Hannah, 3.4 kills per set this season. And now a service ace for Quinn Menger.
Yeah, Menger's really been the serving specialist for this team the past few years, a captain of the squad. Now had 3 her season high in one game against the Michigan State Spartans in that 4-set win a few weeks ago.
Looking for another. Sends Minnesota to the floor for the receive. Now Grote rejected at the net, but block goes out of bounds, so Grote gets the kill. Point to Minnesota. They lead set 2, 14-13.
See Jillian Grimes come back in, Menger and Mendelson go out.
Back to serve, it's Grote. The redshirt senior for Burbank, California. Sends Merzick to the floor on the receive. Now Hannah softly over, kept up by Grote. Schaffmaster for Acevedo. Faldudo goes, runs, saves it for Merzick. Polabiak to the floor. And Minity out of bounds on her attack. And the point to Penn State, ties set 2 at 14 apiece.
And that's Minity's 2nd attack error. She's hitting in the negatives, the only one on either side in that department. Negative 400 for her, 2 errors on 5 attack attempts.
Schaffmaster for Grote. Grimes to the floor for the dig. Now Hannah for the kill. She gets it. Nittany Lions back out in front. They lead set 2, 15-14, bringing us to the media timeout. And this has been Cameron Hannah's set, Jack.
Yeah.
Defending the house. They lead set 2, 22-19. They won set 1. Kristen Carpenter, part of the 2009 championship team. Nittany Lions honoring 3 teams today, 1999, 09, and 2014. As a service error gives Minnesota the point out of the timeout.
And of course, a member of that 1999 team that's being honored is, well, Penn State's head coach, Kate Schumacher-Colley.
Got a warm reception as Penn State lets that one go out. Back-to-back service errors. So Nittany Lions lead set 2, 23-20. But back to the point, Katie Schumacher-Cawley, among the members of the 99 team that were on the court before the game, got a very warm reception from this home crowd. As Merzick puts her serve off the net. It took a diving reception that time to keep it up. And the attack out of bounds. And we are at set point here in set 2. Nittany Lions lead 24-20 as Merzick at the service line. 11 kills already for Merzick to go along with 9 digs and a block. Serve to Acevedo, Shaftmaster. Pushed over by Awuleu. And then the attack error by Acevedo gives the Nittany Lions set 2, 25-20. They win set 2. They move up 2-0 in the match. This year, especially with Pitt finally taking their first loss. No undefeated teams remain in that respect. And you just think about it, Penn State, they get the big win over Oregon. They haven't lost in Big Ten conference play yet. Neither has Nebraska. For years, it's been Nebraska and Wisconsin up top. Right now, Wisconsin third, and Penn State slots in as the second best team in the Big Ten. Still plenty of volleyball to be played this season, and plenty of volleyball to be played today as the Nittany Lions get their 16th point.
Yeah, it kind of came off of Alex Acevedo having to kind of back off. She ran in with a full head of steam, and then she wanted to get the block, but was coming in too fast, and that kind of got her off guard, allowing Penn State to get the point.
Stark's serve, a tough reception that time. Minity sends it over. Now Stark for Hannah, rejected. Trammell keeps it up, Hannah keeps it up. But a violation called on Trammell, and the point goes to Minnesota.
I think Trammell's a bit too close to the net. She didn't really know where she was. He's kind of confused on what the call was, but Coach Schumacher-Cawley says, yeah, it's the right call as much as we don't want it to be.
Trammell got the explanation from the official closest to us. As Merzick to the floor on the reception. Now Stark leaves it for Hannah. Too hard on that attack. And the point to Minnesota. 2-0 scoring run out of the media timeout. Or 2-1 in favor of Minnesota out of the media timeout. Has this one tied back up at 16. It's Acevedo's serve. Received by Merzick. And now Trammell. Markley sends it over with 2 hands. Shaftmaster to Hansen. Attack out of bounds. Penn State retakes the lead 17-16.
Yeah, Merzick just missed it, but it landed in the blue. That is out.
And it is going to be challenged by head coach Keegan Cook. He was quick to ask for a challenge, was waiting to get the card from his assistant. And once he got it, the challenge initiated. So this could either be 17-16 in favor of Penn State or 17-16 the other way. And at this point of the game, or rather the set, it's kind of a crucial point.
Yeah, because this is where we saw Penn State really go on their run at the end to win set 1. And I wonder if there was something closer to the net, because just looking back at the play, it looked like Merzick didn't get a touch on it as it landed out. It looked like it was a clean shot out of bounds. So maybe we'll have a replay and we'll see, but they're looking over. Keegan Cook, as you said, was very quick to call that challenge. So maybe he saw something from his vantage point that we didn't. Look, here's the replay. Shaftmaster sends it up. Hansen gonna fire it. Nothing on Merzick. You gotta look at Cameron Hannah's hand, number 8. And there is a touch.
So a touch at the net gives Minnesota the 17-16 lead, and Julia Hansen another kill, her 6th, leading the Golden Gophers. So potentially a big swing, because as Jack said, this is when Penn State started running away with the last set, and Minnesota on a 3-0 scoring run here in this set. Cameron Hannah looking to end it. She does. Sends it straight on to Zeynep Polabiec. And Penn State, right after the review, gets the point back, and 17-17 stands set 2.
We've seen Cameron Hannon be a bit inaccurate with her free balls, but when she winds up and jumps like that, she's almost unstoppable, just on par with Jess Merzick in terms of power and precision.
Hannah now to serve just over the net. Polabiec to the floor. Grote from the middle. Grimes, tough dig. Now Merzick. That one onto Thibault. Polabiak sends it up. Grote just shoves it over. Trammell touched at the net. Kill, Taylor Trammell. 5th kill for Taylor Trammell here today. The senior plus from Lexington, Kentucky. Spent the start of her career with Purdue, but has been a staple in this Nittany Lions volleyball program since coming over. As now Hansen, Grimes to the floor. Merzick on the attack. Kept up by Polabiak. Thibault to Schaffmaster, sends it over. Grimes keeps it up again. Now Markley sent back at the net. Hannah and Stark communicate. Now Merzick. Polabiak keeps it up again. Back set that time. And too hard on the attack. Kalissa Minity. And the point to the Nittany Lions. 19-17. They lead set 2. And now on a 3-0 scoring run.
Yeah, it's not been Kalissa Minity's night at all. She has 109 kills on the season. Season high of 11 against UCLA. Now 3 errors, no kills so far.
As Hannah continues to serve. Polabiak to the floor, so does Schaffmaster. Now Hansen gets the kill, sending Cameron Hannah to the floor. Point Minnesota, they cut the deficit to 1. Ending a 3-0 scoring run for the Nittany Lions, which is crucial, like we talked about, 8-0 scoring run for the Nittany Lions to end set 1.
They're trying to cut into it, and that's just been Julia Hansen's MO, is just find the one-on-one matchup on the back line. I keep repeating it, but it keeps showing to be true throughout this game. That's how Minnesota has been staying in this contest.
Markley rejected, but the block out of bounds, and the point to Alexa Markley. 2018, the Nittany Lions lead set 2. Grimes the serve. Thibault receives. Now Hansen the attack. And Hansen out of bounds. Point Nittany Lions. They lead the set 21-18. Right towards the end of the set, they are once again starting to pull away, but Keegan Cook isn't going to let the Nittany Lions have this point easily, going to the challenge table yet again. He just ended up winning one. He's looking for another touch at the net, and the official taking a look here at the scorer's table.
Well, if you won it once, why not try it, especially since you keep your timeout for now. But definitely a rare sight from Julia Hansen to miss if it does end up being an upheld call.
And Nittany Lions at the moment have a 21-18 lead here in set 2, but it could certainly be 20-19, which Minnesota would take as we see the replay here on Big Ten Plus.
You're looking for Markley. It's probably where the touch is. This doesn't look like it happens on Izzy Stark. It's very clearly not her. Might have a case that the finger looks like it moves on the right hand of Markley as they both go up at the net.
I was going to say the indicator is typically a finger movement, and it does look like that one may have gotten Markley's outer hand.
Yeah, it looks like maybe like her middle or her ring finger makes a movement. I don't know if that's just her going through the motion of getting up for the block. Very tough to tell.
Again, need to have inconclusive video evidence.
Well, inconclusive for it to be upheld. Conclusive for
that's what I meant to say,
yeah.
Jack. So it needs to be conclusive if they want to overturn this one. The Nittany Lions hoping, if anything, it's conclusive in their favor, or just inconclusive because the call on the court is in their favor at the moment. This is a lot longer of a challenge.
I was just going to say, we're getting the word here, but it took a lot longer than the first challenge. And there is a touch against Alexa Markley, so point for Minnesota, and another challenge won by Keegan Cook. He has a good eye out there for the plays that have not gone in his favor, able to get them overturned in the Gophers' favor.
That challenge took just shy of 2 minutes, but it goes the way of Minnesota. They find it worth the wait. The Nittany Lions now just lead by 1 after another successful challenge from Keegan Cook. Both coaches successful on all their challenges today as Merzick on the attack and the kill. Jess Merzick with kill number 12 pacing this match.
You can see Kate Thibault was very upset with that one. I think if she lets it go, doesn't get her hand up, that probably is an attack out of bounds and point Minnesota. But it goes the other way. Now the Nittany Lions up by 2.
Valdudo sends Polavic to the floor on the serve. Merzick and Mendelson send back the attack. And now Stark and Mendelson send back another attack. This one, point for Penn State and a timeout by Keegan Cook. We watch the block from Stark and Mendelson. And with the timeout, we're going to send it to Gigi Jones with 2009 Penn State alum Kristen Carpenter. They're hoping to do so again here today.
Yeah, it's just this Penn State team knows when to step up, and they know when the stakes are high. And the same thing for Minnesota, not discrediting them at all. Coach Keegan Cook had an interesting point in his Friday Zoom meeting. He said he's not afraid to be sincere with his team, that he knows that he's stepping into an environment like Rec Hall where he knows it's going to be loud, raucous. You're playing a top 3 team. It's okay to treat this matchup a little bit differently. We know a lot of teams like to subscribe by the want-to-know mentality. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They're going to treat it exactly the same. Minnesota has done the opposite, where they know that they're coming into an environment where they can play up a bit more, and that has helped them at times. You know, they started season 1-3, and their only win was against the reigning national champion Texas Longhorns.
So two sides, flip sides, as Angelina Stark ready to set for the Nittany Lions. They finished set 2 on a 3-0 scoring run. They finished set 1 on that 8-0 scoring run. So 11-0 to finish off the first sets. This Minnesota team hangs around for a while, but the Nittany Lions, their star-studded depth, have just been getting the best of Minnesota towards the middle and end of each set. Towards the end of set number 2, we saw a lot less of Phoebe Awolea on the court for Minnesota. She's back out there to start here. A big reason why they have 8 blocks as a tough receive on the opening serve of set 3, but Minnesota gets it over. Thibault sends it back over. She gets the kill. Kate Thibault with just her 3rd kill of the season.
That was really impressive. It was 3 consecutive, not bump sets, it was just punches to get it over, and Thibault placing it perfectly on that side closest to our broadcast position. Great job by Kate Thibault, the defensive specialist out of Watertown, Minnesota, the sophomore.
Elise McGee sends Jillian Grimes to the floor for the reception. Now Merzick, and her cross-court kill works in her favor. Point for the Nittany Lions, 13th kill for Jess Merzick, approaching 20 for potentially the 3rd straight match.
I mean, Julia Hansen, there's a little bit of a gap in the stands. I thought she was going to go run up a few bleachers and fire it over. Would be very fitting for this game, the way it's played out.
A lot of great defense as now Melanie Schaffmaster, normally setting it, that time sends it to the floor on the Penn State side for point number 2 for Minnesota. We've seen them jump out to leads in all 3 sets. They've gotten the first point in every set. They've taken early small leads. They've got a 2-1 lead here in the 3rd set.
They've done the job of getting it done early, but it's been about finishing. That's been their issue so far in this one.
Markley softly over. Polavic to the floor, kept it up. Now Grimes digs it. Merzick goes on the attack, keeps it in. Cross court again. Jess Merzick up to 14 kills.
That's just usual Jess Merzick stuff. 14 kills, a beautiful cross court just to paint that back line. Standard Jess Merzick activities on a Sunday afternoon.
Talk about now a 10-game streak for Merzick with 10-plus kills in the previous 9 coming into the day. Has 6 games of 15-plus kills, 1 away. As now Izzy Stark gets in on the kills. Her first from the setter position tonight.
Talk about Izzy Stark being great with kind of the off-speed, the trickeration to try to fake out the defense. Also great with just the 2-hand slam. Nothing Melanie Schaffmaster could do there.
49th kill now for Stark in her freshman year. Merzick keeps it up. Stark sets it. Mendelson on the attack. Wooker to the floor on a dive. Keeps it up. Polavic. That one to Crowell. And Crowell gets the tip and the kill.
First time we've really called her name today, and is her first kill on her 2nd attempt. Her 29th kill of 2024. Hitting 175 coming to this one. The redshirt junior at 6'4".
Played in just one set on Friday. Limited action here today. Mendelson. Maggie Mendelson. Her 5th kill. Heavy right arm on that one.
And that's Julia Hansen getting a taste of her own medicine with Mendelson going cross court, back row, one-on-one with Hansen, and it flies behind her into the stands of a now pretty much full rec hall, all decked out in pink for the big pink match.
Merzic serve, Acevedo with the receive. Now Crowell on the attack. Faldudo to the floor, keeps it up. Hannah on the attack and gets the kill. Cameron Hannah with her 9th kill of the match. One away from double digits herself.
He had a season high of 22 against Kentucky, and Hannah just continuing to show while she's so good against the block, always finds a way to split it.
Merzic, really tough serve. Ate up Acevedo a little bit. And Penn State gets the point.
And that's the second time we've seen Acevedo get unlucky with the set. Just a little bit too far, a little bit too much speed on her end. And again, a miscommunication by the Minnesota.
Nittany Lions pulling away earlier than they have in the other sets. They lead by 3 here in set 3. Shaftmaster to the floor. Acevedo sends it over. Faldudo, Stark, Hannah rejected up front. Crowell and Awalea both there for Minnesota. 9th block for Minnesota. A team that's got 10+ blocks in 10 matches, one away from making it 11 matches.
And that's a breath of fresh air if you're Keegan Cook in this Gopher squad to see Awalea get back into the game and get a block. They're going to need that to keep this game alive, down 2 points in what could be the final set if Penn State holds on.
Palabiak back for the serve. 8 service aces on the season. This one received by Merzic to Stark. She sends it over looking for her 2nd kill. Shaftmaster kept it up on the floor. Now Stark sets it for Hannah and Cameron Hannah. 10 kills now for Cameron Hannah. Already a record-breaking day for her. And now up to double digits.
That was one of the loudest kills. I heard a big thud on the ground when Hannah hit it down, showing off her power on that one. Again, avoiding the block as she does so often in that position.
12th match of the season with double-digit kills for Cameron Hannah. Shaftmaster. Now Trammell. Taylor Trammell. Penn State just can attack you any which way. Merzic with 14 kills, Hannah with 10, and now Taylor Trammell with 6. You can throw in Markley for a Michigan team that's been very good at 5-2 unranked, but a very sneaky good Michigan team.
Yeah, we've seen unranked teams stay alive against Penn State, but if you're the Nittany Lions, you kind of want to keep that winning streak going. It's been such a minefield in collegiate volleyball. You don't want to drop a match that you aren't supposed to lose, especially when you have Wisconsin down the road and then Nebraska to finish off the regular season. You want to keep that streak going and limit your losses, and that's how you're going to try to sneak in to get maybe to number 2, maybe to number 1. Penn State did get their first place vote in the AVCA poll this week.
For Minnesota, their next match against Northwestern on Wednesday. Manger on the serve. Tough reception that time from Palabiak. Now Acevedo. Faldudo digs it up. Back set from Stark. And the kill from Merzic. Jess Merzic taking over the match. 15 kills now for the graduate student.
And she led the team against Minnesota last year. They played back on September 30th, 2023 on the road, as we said earlier, in Minneapolis. Led the team with 21 kills.
Up to 15 now. As Crowell on the attack. Tipped at the line. Merzic keeps it up. And now Taylor Trammell slams it down.
And there was no protection behind the block from Minnesota, and Trammell saw that perfectly. Found the hole and found the kill. Now in a 4-0 scoring run as the Nittany Lions up 10-4 here. Just 15 points away from another ranked sweep.
Outside of the end of set 1, Nittany Lions haven't led by this much as Quinn Manger extends the lead and the scoring row. 5-0 scoring run off Quinn Manger's second service ace. Anger serves again, this time received nicely by Minnesota, sent over by Crowell. Stark, Hannah rejected, sent back on the floor. What an effort by Jess Merzick. Free balled over by Faldudo, Polabiak, Schaffmaster, and Engelman sent back by Trammell and Hannah. Now Acevedo. Merzick keeps it up. Stark sets. Soft that time. Pancaked off the floor by Schaffmaster. Acevedo sends it over. Now Stark. Schaffmaster, no problem keeping that one up. Acevedo again to the floor. Faldudo can't keep it up. And that time an exceptional rally goes the way of Minnesota.
And that finally breaks that 5-0 scoring run that Penn State was on. And to do it in such a long rally as well, we will see a sub for the Gophers. Lauren Crowell comes out. Kate Thiebaud comes back into the game. She has a kill and 8 digs on the afternoon.
Couple of substitutions as Penn State makes some changes on their side. Kate Thiebaud back to serve for Minnesota, trailing by 6. Faldudo to the floor, tough reception. Izzy Stark manages to send it over. Now Acevedo. Grimes sets for Hannah, rejection up front. Engelman and Schaffmaster both there for Minnesota.
First time we've called Callie Engelman's name, and that's kind of the downside to Cameron Hannah's play sometimes, that she has a very long wind-up motion, and when the block is right there, we see more often than not opponents really utilize that to their advantage and usually get the block.
Schaffmaster to Acevedo, off the hands of the block of the Nittany Lions. Alex Acevedo with a couple of kills now for Minnesota. And it's a 3-0 scoring run for the Golden Gophers. Cut the deficit from 7 to 4. Merzick looking to end it, goes soft this time. She likes to throw in that changeup every once in a while, and we've seen the heavy right arm all day. That time leaves it soft and gets the kill.
She is like a pitcher sometimes, really throwing every which way, and that sometimes just changing it up and throwing the defense off guard is another key to Merzick's success.
Had to throw in the baseball reference after the New York Yankees clinched their spot in the World Series last night. Hannah gets the kill. Contact up front at the net. The block was there, but unsuccessful for the Golden Gophers. And 13-7, Nittany Lions have bounced back after the scoring run for Minnesota. Izzy Stark, the serve. Now Acevedo on the attack. And Alex Acevedo gets the kill for the Golden Gophers. Now 5 for her. Majority of them coming here in this set 3. She goes back to serve, but Alex Acevedo having a really nice set 3, keeping Minnesota at play here. Serve received from Grimes. Now Stark leaves it for Trammell. And Trammell kills it. Nittany Lions lead by 6.
That's something that both Trammell and Cameron Hannah do such a good job of, is splitting the block when it's those 1-on-2 matchups. We've seen that time and time again be in the favor of the Golden Gophers, but they're the ones that can really exploit it well.
Hannah's serve, tough reception that time from Wooker. Now Hansen, heavy arm that time from Julia Hansen, her 9th kill. She is leading this Minnesota team, and Julia Hansen, who had a career-high 19 kills in the upset of then #1 Texas earlier this season, again, has already surpassed 200 kills, the first time in her career. And just about at her season average, 3 kills per set. She's averaging just above that at 3.3, or rather 3.4 when I round correctly. Now Markley. That one set to the sky of rec call. Hansen free balls it over. Merzick scoops it out. Stark, back set. Markley, kill. Alexa Markley with kill number 5 has really stepped into a nice role today and has made an impact here for the Nittany Lions.
10 kills against Minnesota last year, and has a season high of 6 back in the Penn State Invitational against Princeton. So knocking on the door of that as Grimes goes back to serve.
Grimes, tough reception from Thiebaud. Polabiak puts it up. Now Hansen on the attack, and Hansen on the kill off the hands of the top line of the Nittany Lions. 15-10, Nittany Lions lead set 3.
And first time we've seen Hanson really utilize the front line. So many times she uses that back line to her advantage, but really changing it up there to get the point for Minnesota.
So Melanie Schaffmaster back to serve. Came into the day with 18 service aces. This one off the net, not a problem for the Nittany Lions. Mendelson rejected, solo block, Awa'ea.
And that was nasty from the grad student out of Marietta, Georgia, the former Loyola Marymount and Georgia Bulldog player.
That is the 8th block that Awa'ea has been a part of. Now 7+ blocks in 6 of the last 7 matches for Minnesota. She gets another. She's there with Crowell, and that leads to a timeout for Penn State, back-to-back block.
So again, just like with Penn State, you're trying to weather the storm and make sure you don't lose any of those matches as a ranked team and drop yourself in the rankings, especially with how competitive the top of the polls have been.
Northwestern, the next team to face this Minnesota team that is headlined by Phoebe Awa'ea and what she can do defensively. Awa'ea on the attack that time. Good play by Stark. And now a block from the Nittany Lions, Markley and Mendelson. Really have to be impressed if you're Katie Schumacher-Colley with Alexa Markley stepping up today.
And not only does she have 5 kills, now 3 blocks. That's second most on the team behind Maggie Mendelson, who leads the team in blocks throughout this season.
And Markley, again, a former Big Ten All-Freshman team member as Maggie Mendelson, all alone, middle of the court, gets the kill for the Nittany Lions. Her 6th kill, but back to the point on Markley. Big Ten All-Freshman team member, kind of seen her playing time dip a little bit this season, just 14 sets played over 8 matches, but got the start today and has made the impact that Katie Schumacher-Colley was looking for. Now Stark leaves it. Merzick kills it. Jess Merzick, 17 kills, gets point number 18 in set 3 for the Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions on a 3-0 scoring run of their own since their timeout. And now Keegan Cook. After that, Jess Merzick.
Barring the sweep to number 1 pit, but against teams that are very credible and have a lot of pedigree, able to stop them, and they're doing the same here to a top 15 team in conference like the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Hanson rejected by Merzick and Mendelson. She'll go for it again, this time soft. Izzy Stark keeps it up. Now Grimes sets it. Merzick. That time Palabiak. Schaffmaster, little overpass. Crowell tried to shove it over. And 4 hits on Minnesota's side. Penn State gets the point.
That's not what you want when Penn State's riding a scoring run just 6 points away from winning in a sweep. You can't afford to have that if you're the Golden Gophers.
Now a 4-0 scoring run for the Nittany Lions as Ava Faldudo serves that one. Wooker, tough reception. Good play. Schaffmaster gets it over to Crowell. Crowell too hard on the attack. And the Nittany Lions first to 20 in set 3. They've been the first to 20 in all sets. They lead this one by 8.
And Minnesota checking Alex Acevedo back into the game. She had a solid, good for Keegan Cook to get his best players out there for a backs against the wall scenario.
Hanson, it was off the hands of Mendelson at the net. Now Grimes for Merzick. Merzick met at the net. Awa'ea and Hanson both there. Palabiak for Crowell. Crowell, it's kept up by Grimes. Mendelson pushes it over, and Maggie Mendelson with her 7th kill here in this match. And the Nittany Lions lead it by 9, 21-12.
And Mendelson, as you say, gets her 6th kill. Grimes with her 13th digs now. Speaking of 13, her 13th match with over 10 digs this season.
She was up towards the top of the conference in digs as Acevedo. A hard kill that time right off the chest of Faldudo. And Minnesota ends the lengthy scoring run of the Nittany Lions. But Grimes tied 4th in the Big Ten in digs per set with 3.94 a set. She's doing it again today with 13. Stark for Merzick, push to the back row and to the floor. Jess Merzick with kill number 18. Izzy Stark with another assist, mark it as 46. And the Nittany Lions lead at 22-13 in set 3.
A common theme for the Penn State volleyball team is a lot of them compliment Jess Merzick on her volleyball IQ. And that time, she really saw beyond the ball, realizing there was a hole in that back corner, just softly putting it over.
Awale on the attack, dug out by Grimes, and Izzy Stark, two-hand push over, gets the kill. Just talked about 46 assists for Izzy Stark. Now add in 2 kills to go along with 6 digs and a block. All over the court, the freshman. Schaffmaster leaves for Crowell. Off of Faldudo, it's a kill for Crowell. 7-1 scoring run for the Nittany Lions, now 7-2.
You definitely see a bit of anger in that swing from Lauren Crowell, just firing it cross court against Faldudo.
Palabiak, her serve, Merzick to the floor. Stark back sets for Mendelson off the hands of the front line. Palabiak up for Acevedo. Acevedo too hard on the attack. Match point. Nittany Lions looking for another ranked sweep. Quinn Menger, 2 service aces, checks in to serve. The crowd to their feet. The claps come with it.
Mace would tie her season high in 1 game.
Menger to Palabiak on the floor. Now Schaffmaster leaves it for Crowell. Crowell to Menger. Stark for Trammell off the hands of the front line. Too hard on the overpass. And now Izzy Stark. A big kill. And the Nittany Lions have another ranked sweep. Number 3, Penn State takes Minnesota, number 14 in the country, in 3 sets. And Izzy Stark, the freshman, with her hardest kill of the match, finishes it off.
Yeah, outstanding performance by the freshman in this game. 46 assists, 6 digs, 3 kills is her final stat line. But Penn State, the number 3 team in the nation, their 4th ranked sweep, their 6th ranked win, their 14th straight win at Rec Hall, their 14th straight win in the regular season in conference play. Again, we always say statement win, but it seems like every other week they're making a statement win out there, showing that they can go out and compete with the best of the best in collegiate volleyball.
Hit 305 against a team that normally keeps their opponents under a hitting percentage of 200. Nittany Lions 52 kills. Jess Merzick leads the way with 18. Cameron Hanna behind her. And then it was Taylor Trammell recording 8 kills, and Taylor Trammell is standing by with our Gigi Jones.